More on our top story now. Gordon Brown has called for a future fair for all in a speech setting out Labour's key election campaign themes. Speaking at a rally for party activists in the West Midlands, the Prime Minister urged British voters to take a second look at Labour.
My message to the people of Britain today is simple. I know that Labour hasn't done everything right. And I know, really I know, that I'm not perfect. But I know where I come from, and I know what I stand for, and I know who I came into politics to represent. And if you, like me, are from Britain's mainstream majority, from an ordinary family that wants to get on and not simply get by, then my message to you today is simple. Take a second look at us, and take a long, hard look at them. Take a second... Take a second look at how we are creating the jobs of the future, and take a long, hard look at how the day after an election, their policies would put the recovery and your job at risk. Take a second look at our NHS guarantees, and take a long, hard look at their plans to cut your right to see a cancer specialist within 2 weeks, to cut your right to see a GP in the evenings and at weekends, to cut your right to get your operation in the shortest possible time. And take a second look at how we will improve the prospects for your children. And then take a long, hard look at their plans that hurt middle-class families. Plans to cut your child tax credit, to cut your child trust fund, to cut your children's centres, and to cut the budgets of our schools. Now, can they really say they understand the needs of mainstream Britain when they would kick away the ladders of opportunity that guarantee young people training or a job? Can they really say they understand the needs of mainstream Britain when they think that most in need of a tax cut are the 3,000 wealthiest estates in Britain?
Prime Minister speaking in Coventry. So will voters get the message? Well, I'm joined by Jonathan Gabay, a marketing expert and founder of the company Brandforensics, and he's with me in the studio now. Jonathan, how important is it for politics to have brands these days, for a party to have a brand?
It's always been important, actually. Even to go back to the 60s, the 70s, whenever you're going to go back, it's always been important that it's a brand. Because what a brand means, a brand is about a good name, something that you can trust, something that you would want to be associated with. Now, a slogan, which is what he's announced today, should underpin that trust. It's not a headline, because a headline is about a specific tactical issue, whatever the issue may be. And it's what I call a political pinch. It's something that's going to get to people and say, I recognise that as a problem. But the slogan, that's a headline. But the slogan itself has got to be something that underpins it.
So what do you think of this slogan then, a future fair for all, supposedly setting Labour apart from Conservatives, who they say are people by old Etonians and millionaires?
Right, okay, well, I'm only coming from this from the point of view of a marketing and branding, okay? From a marketing and branding, from a message point of view, I've got a feeling it's a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of convoluted when it says a future fair for all. It's rather austere, really. Why can't you just say a fair future for all, instead of a future fair for all? It just sounds a bit more pompous. And I don't think he's going for that kind of market.
No, I don't think he is. And do you think that will alienate people then, or they won't know what it means? What's wrong with it?
I think why can't they say, well, why can't you just speak in a straightforward kind of a way and just say what you want to say? He said, you know, in his speech today, one of the lines that he said, we must stand for the many and not the few. Well, you know what? As a line, as a slogan, stand for the many, not the few. I mean, it's better than a future fair for all. I mean, and you're also going to get a lot of people who are going to lampoon it, to be honest with you, because they're going to say a future fair for all, and they're going to say fair as in a cost. So I'm not sure.
What about this point that Gordon Brown made today when he said the election will be won not by who has the best PR, but by values?
Okay, that sounds like a good PR statement. If ever heard one. He also kept on going on about change. He says, if you believe in taking this country forward, not backwards, then Labour are the change makers in this election. You're going to hear that word from a PR point of view, I'm talking about the word change, many times. I think they're really trying to take on what happened last year with Obama with change, and he actually took it from, I'm looking at these notes here, from Bill Clinton in 1992, and he said it's time to change America. So they love change, but they never change.
There's nothing new, I suppose, in many of...
No, nothing changes.
What about this idea of how you get the brand out there, how you get the slogan out there, your message? Because we understand from Douglas Alexander, who's been speaking to one of the newspapers this weekend, that it's not going to be about broadcast anymore. It's going to be about one-to-one, two-way communication over the internet.
It's all about Web 2.0. It's all about Web 2.0, social media, Twitterers. Twitterers will have the final vote because the Twitterers are the voice of democracy, and they will actually give the final vote.
Jonathan, thank you very much indeed. Jonathan Gabay from Brand Forensics. Good to talk to you.
Thanks so much.